Okay, guys, so I'm going to walk you through some of the edits and things for today. So here's like the list of steps. These right here, I want you to kind of practice on your own holiday slides and things you can do. These three things down here, I'm going to show you how to do in the video, but it's kind of hard to do it in your holiday slides. So that's why I just have it to like watch the video for these edits. So the first two really easy, just inserting slides. If you haven't done all of your items already, go ahead and insert all your items, and then knowing how to duplicate slides as well. So right here I have the items I wanted. This is the stuff from yesterday that we did. We had a holiday wish list, we had our bulleted list, and then you should have your items. So I'm going to delete these two actually really quickly. So if I just had the one, you can right click and do it and duplicate the slide, or on the home tab, under new slide, you can duplicate selected slides. So you could duplicate multiple at one time. But then that way you could just have the same format and just change the title. So this is item number 2, and then you could, put in your picture there, and then I could duplicate again. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I deleted instead of duplicated. And then duplicate, and then you see you already have the format set up if you wanted the same format for each one. So make sure you know how to like insert new slides and duplicate them as well. So next is like hiding and unhiding slides. So if you wanted to present this, and you're wanting to like hide an item, you're like, actually, I don't want to show this anymore. I'm not sure if I want this. You just right click on it and you can do hide slide right here. And it will notice it puts a little line through the 5. And so when you present it, it will skip over that slide. So then you just click it again to unhide it. It's also on slideshow. There's slideshow hide slide right here. But if asked you to hide a slide, basically it's just like, it's still there, so you don't have to delete it and get rid of it, but when you present it, it won't actually show up in the presentation. Okay, modify individual backgrounds. You should know how to do that. So under slide design, the design tab up at the top, you can format the background and change it. It will tell you some certain gradients to do. Pictures, if you need to insert a picture to put as the background, sometimes people prefer that. Patterns, all that kind of stuff. So it's there, that's solid fill right now, but mine's changing this background portion. So play around with that and then change your backgrounds to what you want for yours. Okay, so knowing how to insert headers and footers and page numbers and things like that. So if you go to the insert tab, I'm going to close this background thing. If you go to the insert tab and you go to text, okay, so there's obviously word art, there's text box, all that stuff. There's also header and footer. Okay, and if it's asking you to do a header or footer or page number, things like that, then this is where you need to go. So you can do it on the slide. If you look at the preview, this will add it to the bottom of the slide. So you would see it down here, and you could do date and time. Slide number, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll have slide number, and that's in the bottom right-hand corner. And then you can update that. This tab is for if it wants it on the notes and handouts. So you don't see it on the slide, but if you print it off in the notes and handouts, then it would have it in the corner of that page. So go ahead and at least have your slide number and your page number in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can hit apply to all. If you just do apply, it's just the slide that you have selected. So if I do apply all, then notice I have a little 5 down in the corner. It's real small, and there's a 4. So it at least has the slide number on it. But that's how you would add a header and a footer. And then create a section for all the slides with your big items. So creating sections. So let's say I had these first 3 items were real expensive. I'm going to select all 3 of these. I just hold down shift and select all of them. You can right click and you can do this to where we have add section. Okay. And what it does is it will ask you to name it, and I'll just say big items or most expensive or something like that. Okay. And so this has created a section. So now all these items, you have things in section. This is a default section, so automatically puts these into a default section. If I want to rename it, I'm like, you just right click on it, rename it. And we're going to call this one title section. Okay, so I'll just call it title. So there's my title and my list, and then I have my big items. Okay, and then let's say I want to create a new slide, and I will have these are some of my smaller items. So this was small item or stocking stuffer 1. Okay, whatever list you have, stocking stuffer number 1. I'm going to duplicate this slide so I have stocking stuffer number 2. So these right here, I can insert, and I can group these together, and I can, let's see. I'm just going to right click and do it and add section right here. Okay. And I'm going to call these the stocking stuffers. Um, so now you have your sections. You know how to rename them. You just right click on them and rename them. Reordering slides, you can grab a section and move it around at a time like this, or you can take individual slides and move them around. You can do it from that view, or you can change your view, slide sorter, and do it from there as well. Sometimes it might have you actually go into that view to change it. Okay, so those are kind of the main things. Sections was a big one today. One thing I did want to show you as well, that I didn't have time to yesterday. So alignment and grouping things. So right now, if I had this picture kind of over here, but I wanted them to be lined up on the left, I'm going to select the title, hold down Control or Shift, and select the other item. If you come up to Shape Format, okay, there's these things. I didn't get time to show you this yesterday. This alignment option under Shape Format or Picture Format, whenever you have multiple things selected, you can align them to the left, you can align them to the top. Right now, if I just wanted to be lined up over here on the left side together, then it will take the left edge of both of those and put them right on right and in line with each other. So you can do it like that. Also, if I had another picture, so let's say I go to Nike Blazer and I have, let's see, I'll just have, there's different colors and stuff that I wanted. Okay, I just was using that as the link. So I have all these different images that I want. Okay, let's say let me resize this. Oh, cropping things. So maybe I have a lot of extra space and I want to crop it off. Okay, under picture format, you can crop it and move it. And that was one we didn't have time for yesterday either. So crop it and move it. Okay, and then I can hold down Shift or Control, select those things, align them. So right now I want them to be aligned to the top so that they're perfectly even. Maybe you're a little OCD and you want things aligned. It's always great. And then I'm going to remove the link because I don't know if you can group things with the link on them. It's not letting me group, so I'm not sure why. If you have multiple things like this, there we go. I did it for this one. I think because this one has effects on it, maybe, then I can't group it. But if I have multiple things and I'm like, okay, I have these two pictures and I want them to be together, so I'm going to select both of them. This group option, when you do that, then now it becomes one picture. So we've done that before, but just know that that's the group option. So alignment and group were two things that we definitely didn't get to yesterday that I was hoping to have time for. Okay. So in these last couple things, I'm just going to show you really quickly. So importing Word document outlines. So again, I didn't want it to mess up your whole entire holiday list here, but if you go to Insert and under New Slide, okay, there's slides from Outline next to the duplicate one. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm just going to show you this outline example. You have to have it set up in Word a very specific way. That's why I didn't want to mess with this with y'all. But if I just do Outline Example, actually, let me go to my BIM folder to make sure it's the right one. And I go to Outline Example. Okay, it's going to import certain things, and you'll see them now. So this was just an outline for like a paper, but you have the introduction, you have the body, and the conclusion. I'll see if I have it. No, that's not what it is. It was outline Word, and then let me pull it up and show you so you can see what it looks like. Okay, in Word, this is what it looks like. Okay. And it will take these different sections and put them into PowerPoint for you. So if you have an outline already done, then you can just kind of automatically pop it into PowerPoint. Inserting slides from another presentation. So same thing in new slides, you can click on reuse slides, or there's this reuse slides option. So if it wants it from another presentation, you just hit reuse slides, and then it will pull up, you can browse in your folder for something, or it will pull up old PowerPoint projects if you find one. Okay, and so you're like, okay, I want this BIM back to school PowerPoint that I used. I wanted some of these. I can choose content and I can select individual slides. Literally, it'll just pop them right in. So there's one, and you're like, okay, I want, grading guidelines. I want to pull that in. What supplies are needed, that kind of stuff. So you can just literally pull in certain slides and just click on them and do it, or you can do all of them at once. You click source formatting and how you have it, and it will just pull it in just like you see it in the other ones. And then inserting a summary Zoom slides. So basically what that is in the links section. I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this real quick. Okay, so that's inserting. We just inserted slides from other presentations. In the links section, there's this Zoom. Okay, there's these things. So if it asks for Zoom summary, section summary, Zoom, all these things, basically what it will do is it will take slides in your presentation or sections in your presentation. And let me show you a summary one. You can choose what slides you want. Okay, and a lot of times, like in geometric certification tests, it will tell you, but you choose them. So I have a couple of them selected. It has 3 selected right now. Okay, and if I hit insert, it creates a summary slide. So now I see summary section, and it basically has links to these. So whenever I'm presenting, if I click on it, it will take me directly to that slide. So you can also do that with sections. So you're like, I want a section. Here's all my sections. Notice I have a summary section. I had that just added just now. I have a title section, my big items, my stocking stuffers. And you're like, actually, I just want to have my 2 right here, my big items, my stocking stuffers. So it will create links to those as well. So whenever I present it, I can click on it and I could, let me move this one over. So you could see, and they're basically links. So whenever I don't want to, I don't know if it'll record when I present, but when you click on them, it will take you directly to that slide when you're presenting. So you could have a summary slide at the end that basically are links showing you those. In summary, we have these items that I want. And then if you needed to go back, like you have a questions section. Anybody have any questions? You can just click on that picture and it will take you back to that slide. Okay, so that's kind of pretty much it. Yeah, these last 3 were just ones that I didn't want to mess up your thing, and it was kind of hard to include those in there. So hopefully this helps, and good luck with your geometrics. Oh, and if you watch the whole video and come and tell me, smiling is my favorite from the movie Elf, that's your keyword and you'll get a piece of candy.